methods research design. First of all, I would like to welcome the Dean of Faculty of Nursing, Universitas Indonesia, represented by Ibu Dr. Hermes Susanti, as Manager of Cooperation and Venture, Faculty of Nursing. Welcome, Ibu Santi. And also I would like to welcome the Head of Administrative Office, Ibu Dr. Hening Pejasari. Welcome. Welcome the Director of Doctoral Program, Ibu Dr. Junaid Isahar. Welcome, Ibu Junaid. Ibu Jun. Where's Ibu Jun? Oh, Ibu Jun, welcome. And also welcome Ibu Dr. Sriyona as the Head of Department from Medical Surgical Nursing Department. Welcome, Ibu Sriyona. And also some of lecturers from our Faculty of Nursing. Welcome, Sir and Ma'am. And also I would like to welcome our distinguished speaker from University of Illinois at Chicago. Welcome, Professor Alicia K. Matthews. Welcome, ma'am, to our Faculty of Nursing. We are very proud having you here. Okay, before we hear the presentation from our distinguished speaker, let me deliver the safety induction. Good afternoon, our distinguished guests. Based on Universitas Indonesia Occupational Health Standard, we are from Occupational Safety, Health and Environment Team, Faculty of Nursing, Universitas Indonesia, would like to deliver safety induction. We are now at Auditorium, 8th floor, Faculty of Nursing, Universitas Indonesia. There are 3 emergency exits, one in the front left and one in the front right, and the other is at the back side of this room. There are 2 potential emergency conditions which may occur: fire and earthquake. In case of fire, please be calm, do not panic, inform our occupational safety team for your location. Evacuate immediately by following our officer to the assembly point. In case of earthquake, please be calm, do not panic, and do not overcrowd. Drop, cover, and hold on. Choose a safe location. Avoid window glass and hanging objects, and protect your head. When the earthquake has ceased, evacuate through emergency stairs and follow our officer to the assembly point. Another information, please be careful when you step on the stairs and always use handrails. Based on Universitas Indonesia Rector's decree, our university is no smoking campus. Please protect clean university's environment and place the rubbish into the rubbish bin. Thank you. Okay, now we are going to hear speech by the Dean of Faculty of Nursing UI, represented by Dr. Hermes Susanti. Ibu Hermes, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good afternoon, everybody. And yes, I would like to say thank you for all. First of all, to our attendants here. Yes, Ibu Jun, thank you, Ibu Jun. There's also, of course, the one who is very important that becomes this public lecture occur, Ibu Hening Pejasari. Thank you, Ibu Hening. And also, we also welcome to Ibu Sriyona. And of course, we are very thank you. And also, this is a very warm welcome to Professor Alicia Matthews. Welcome to Indonesia. And also, we have a very far away participants here. There are 2 students from Spain. These 2 lovely girls, Aina and also Elizabeth. They're from Spain. They're doing internship for 3 months in this faculty, so they also love to join in here lecture as well. And not but the least, of course, welcome to participants of our lecture. Terima kasih atas kedatangannya. This public lecture is a continuing program for our faculty of Nursing, University of Indonesia, which is the aim is to give more opportunity into this faculty. So this is a continuing program that we hope it's not stopped here, but it will be continued in the future. And also, we hope that this program can be also expanded to be like exchange. So we also have the program that our lecturer can also deliver or share our expertise to other faculties abroad. And for your information, Professor Alicia Matthews, how can I address you? Alicia Punix? Alicia. Okay. Professor Alicia is our visiting professor. Visiting professors means that is one of the programs from the University of Indonesia to invite professors and then will be staying in this faculty for about 2 weeks. Yeah? And during these 2 weeks, Professor Alicia will do some teachings, will do also some giving some consultations about research, particularly because she's really expert in her field. And also, we will have some meeting, we have some conversations about future collaborations between two universities. So this is a very good opportunity for everybody. I just want to say enjoy the lecture, make this opportunity as the best as you can, deliver the question when the moment comes, because this is the experts come from far away, from US, Illinois, am I right? Yeah, Illinois, so welcome and thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ibu Santi, for the speech. Now, I would like to invite Professor Punix Matthew, but let me deliver the mechanism of the lecture. Your presentation will be delivered more or less 1 hour, and 30 minutes later, the question and answer session will be followed. So, the participant, if you find something interest to be asked, just write on your paper, and then on the session, you are ready to ask it, the presenter. Again, for Professor Punix Matthews, the stage is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to be here with you. This is my first time in Indonesia. I've had a lot of opportunities to do international teaching in Thailand. I've been there 6 or 7 times, in Japan, New Zealand, Australia, Malawi, South Africa, Mexico. But my favorite place so far is Jakarta, so far. So you might be wondering, who is this Phoenix? So Phoenix is my nickname. The people who are very close to me call me Phoenix, and I've decided that we will be good friends already. So please feel free to call me by my nickname. If not, Alicia is fine as well. So, what are we here to talk about? Mixed methods. Who has had prior training, some teaching in mixed methods? Please, show your hands. Yes. What's that? Oh, very few. Okay, well, that's good. All right, so this lecture will be about mixed methods. So hopefully after our time together, you will have some familiarity with some of the concepts related to mixed methods, some of the strategies, and some ways of thinking about mixed methods as it relates to your own research. Okay? I'd like for us to be very informal. If you have a question, please raise your hand, ask me, and we will discuss as we go along. If I'm speaking too fast, please go like this, and I will slow down. No problem. So feel free to participate. Before I start, I'd like to just do a little bit of an introduction. I am on faculty PhD at the University of Illinois at Chicago in the College of Nursing. I am not a nurse, I'm a psychologist. I'm trained as a clinical psychologist, but for the past 18 years, I have been on faculty in a college of nursing. So I feel like I'm, in some ways, have an honorary degree in nursing. So what are areas of research? My program of research is in cancer prevention and control in underserved populations, specifically focusing on populations that have high levels of health disparities. I have a lot of expertise in intervention development and research. We can talk about that in the consultations. And my research is both qualitative and quantitative, so mixed methods research. Has anyone been to Chicago? Yes, yes. Yeah? This is our fair city, Chicago. Chicago is the capital of Illinois, and in the city itself, there are about 3 million people. Little for Chicago, right? A little town. But in the area around it, about 10 million altogether. The nickname of the city is the Windy City. This city, from here, see, very beautiful city, a lot of wealth. Here's the harbor area, people have their yachts, right? Behind the tall buildings, we have a second city. We have a city that is low income. We have a city that has a lot of violence, poor education, very few opportunities. So Chicago is a city of two cities. One that is very high income, and then one that is characterized by low income. That is the type of work that I'm focusing on, working on health disparities. Right? You familiar with the term health disparities? Yeah, health disparities. So UIC is right in the middle of Chicago, the downtown. You can see those tall buildings. We are one of the largest public universities in the area, and we call ourselves the People's University, in the sense that a lot of the faculty are interested in issues related to health disparities, health inequality. Our College of Nursing, we have 5 different locations, and we've been in existence for about 65 years. So not a very old college. These are some of our students. Our mission, the mission of the college, is to transform health, healthcare and policy through knowledge, generation and translation, and educate future leaders from diverse backgrounds. So when we say diverse backgrounds, Chicago and the United States is a multi-ethnic society. It seems similar to Indonesia. And so our goal, our objective at UIC is to make sure that we are educating the nurses of the future who will be able to take care of the different populations that live in the United States. All right, so that's a little bit about me, where I come from. I look forward to talking a little bit more with you about where you come from. But let's get started with our lecture on mixed methods. So here are our objectives: to describe mixed methods research approaches, to identify different appropriate strategies, to provide some examples from my own work, maybe to talk with you about some of your own work, and to tell you how to evaluate mixed methods research, conducting appraisals. Mixed methods research is just what it sounds like: having expertise in both qualitative and quantitative research. For a very long time in science, the two areas, quantitative and qualitative research, were seen to be very different from one another. And it was of the opinion that qualitative research was inferior or lower quality research. That has changed a great deal. But before we start, we have to be really clear: what is the objective of qualitative research? What is the objective of quantitative research? So tell me, someone, what's the goal of qualitative research? Anyone tell me? I hear What are the goals of some qualitative research? Yes.
Thank you. My answer is the goal of the qualitative research is to dive deeper about one specific problem. That I think it is better if we use qualitative research to find more deeply and more clearly answer about the problem that we face.
Excellent. That's exactly right. So qualitative research allows us to dive very deeply into either a new problem, something that we do not have a lot of prior understanding about, or if we have a finding, a result from quantitative research that we're really puzzled about and unable to understand what is the meaning of this finding, then we rely on qualitative methods for that. So it's important for new areas of research, and it's important for very clearly understanding very deeply an issue. How about quantitative research? What is the goal of quantitative research? All right, wonderful.
Oke, siapa yuk? Apa tujuan kuantitatif? Oke, good.
The answer is for the quantitative research is for the proven our hypothesis is this hypothesis is like our assumption. So we need to prove this hypothesis by quantitative research.
So better able to establish cause and effect, descriptive, right? Hypothesis testing, yes. So each of the types of research are using. Okay. Thank you. So each of the different types of research has a specific focus for them. And as you can see, the purpose, the approaches, the data collection, and the researcher approach to the research all differs based on whether it's a qualitative or a quantitative approach. Right? Which is better, qualitative or quantitative? Yes, thank you very much. Usually I get someone shouting out, quantitative is better. No, they are the same. They are just used for different purposes. Okay, that's something I want you to keep in mind. They're just used for different purposes. All right. So, qualitative research, now this is review since we've talked about it, is used to develop an initial understanding of a problem or issue. We're looking for a range of ideas or feelings about a topic or a phenomenon. Also used to understand different perspectives between groups. This side of the room versus that side of the room, for example. Uncovering motivations, factors that influence it. And then here's how I have often used qualitative research in preparation for designing a quantitative or an intervention research. Now, quantitative research, again, when there has been a lot of prior research, allows us to look at cause and effect relationships, allows us to look at differences between groups. So when you're a mixed method researcher, you have to be very strongly skilled in both types of research. Some of us who do mixed methods might more heavily rely on quantitative methods, but we must be very, very skilled and familiar with qualitative methods as well. So, yes.
It
means the use qualitative research to point 5. Provide information needed to design a quantitative study. It means whenever we will make a research or mixed methods, we have to start first our first start is quantitative maybe, and then the second start is quantity.
It depends. I have twin boys who are 15, and they get so tired of me. They ask me a question. I said it depends. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So very good question. So the question is, in mixed methods, do we always start with qualitative and then follow with quantitative? Not necessarily. It depends on your research question and what is already known.
Because this slide you said that provide information needed to design quantitative study.
Yes. So by itself, as qualitative research, not necessarily as mixed methods. So as qualitative research, as a qualitative approach, yes, that's correct. All right. So historically, as I was mentioning before, there was this division. Quantitative research was much, much stronger, and qualitative was seen as far less rigorous and objective. But in the 1980s, there was a group of researchers who were very much interested, felt that this separation was unnecessary, and it was interfering with our ability to do quality research. And so, starting in the 1980s, there became an interest in mixed methods. At that time, it was almost unheard of to use mixed methods approach, both qualitative and quantitative work together. Since that time, there have been a lot of textbooks and research that has been done about best practices in this area. So now, mixed methods research is generally very well accepted, and it is common to get funding from the federal government in the United States to do mixed methods research. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, would not have been accepted. Now, very, very much accepted. So, definition. What is mixed methods? Mixed methods is a methodology for conducting research, right? It's a framework for conducting research. It is gathering both quantitative and qualitative information and integrating the information that you receive from the two separate types of data collection to be able to answer your question. The procedures that you use, the methods that you use are commonly found for both quantitative and qualitative, but again, they're used together and they're combined. So, this is something to know when you're doing mixed method research, that it involves every step of the planning for your research. It must be done in the framing of mixed methods research. So the question that you ask must be thought of in terms of mixed method design. Your research data collection, your analysis, your sampling, right? From the very beginning, it is thought of as mixed methods, not just qualitative followed by quantitative or vice versa. But as you're planning your study from the beginning, it must be considered mixed methods. So why use a mixed method approach? People who are strong advocates feel like it provides you with a much richer opportunity to answer the research question or to understand a research problem in your area. So quantitative data alone allows you to say something about generalizability of big populations, whereas qualitative allows you to look very deeply into an area. But the both of them together builds on the strengths of the combined types of strategies. So when we think about program level research and research, start with the single goal of trying to understand and fix a problem. When we think about this work, or your program of research, so when you think about this program of research, you ask yourself, how often does the problem occur? Who is more likely to have it? What factors cause the problem? And how can the problem be fixed? When we think of this first question, how often does the problem occur? Is that a qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods question? How often? Yes? Quantitative. Who is more likely to experience the quantitative? Quantitative. What factors cause the problem?
Both of
Quantitative, raise your hand. Qualitative, raise your hand.
both of them. Both of them.
Yes, you're both right. What factors cause the problem can be answered by both quantitative and qualitative methods. How about how can the problem be fixed? Is that a quantitative or qualitative method? Quantitative? Qualitative? Both. All right? So as you think about your program of research, already it's clear that you will have to have some skills in both qualitative and quantitative methodologies. But now I want to give you some insight on mixed methods specifically. Okay. When we think about mixed methods, we have quantitative and qualitative. It can be thought of it as this way. Capital qual, means quantitative is the primary source and the secondary source is qualitative. It does not mean that this is superior, but it means that the emphasis is on the quantitative. Qual, equal emphasis on quantitative methods and qualitative. Qual, emphasis is on the qualitative approach with secondary information quantitatively. Which one of these is true mixed methods? Where along this continuum is true mixed methods? The middle. I get that a lot. Anyone who agrees that true mixed methods is right here with this equal balance of quantitative and qualitative? Show of hands. A couple, yes. What else? Where along this continuum is, if it's not, if you don't, I saw very few people who said in the middle. So if it's not in the middle, what are the other options? Where along this line are true mixed methods? All of them, yes. Absolutely. Everything along this continuum is mixed methods. How you use them, how you prioritize them, and in what order depends on your research question. Okay? So if you're doing this, you're mixed methods. If you're doing this, you're mixed methods, and if you're doing that, you're mixed methods. All right? Depends on what the research question is. All right. Okay? So, how do we understand mixed methods? The first thing that we have to understand is the priority. When you are thinking about your research study, the first question that you have to ask is your priority quantitative or qualitative, equal or qualitative quantitative? That's the first question. The second question is, in your data collection, what happens first? The quantitative or the qualitative? All right? And then thirdly, at what stage of the research are the two